Yo, what's up, guys? It's the Insane Game Freak here to bring you another Pokemon Best Wishes episode, season 2 episode review, and we're reviewing episode 28 today. So overall, in terms of the episode itself, it's kind of the weird thing to say. It's a setup episode where it's pretty much you're introducing the Looker, the Plasma Gang, which has the subs call them, but Team Plasma, Colress, and Team Rocket into the fray, while introducing kind of what Colress's plan is. I do like the fact that they are being consistent with his character. Like, his character is still doing that whole, I want to see what makes a Pokemon truly powerful, and it's like, oh, your Pikachu is interesting because it can break out of my do they even really like explain what the name of his device is? Or the device is essentially enhancing its power while putting it under the control of Team Plasma, but at the same time, enraging it, making it going from docile to enraged, and it's like, oh, this is a Pokemon's true power, and such and such. I mean, that's Team Plasma's game, and I'm gonna say this right now: Team Plasma for the anime is a cop-out. Team Plasma, because we all know I saw this post about like the creator going, oh, the anime is going in a new direction. No, it's not. I heard that this arc is only going to be 14 episodes, and you use the easier version of Team Plasma as a part of this arc. You're not using Black 1 Team Plasma, which will work since you're using Black 1 in. You're not using Black 2 in, you're using Black 1 in. So we have Black 1 in, Black 2 Team Plasma. And I'm like, wouldn't it have been more interesting to have them fight a group of people who are all about the protection and salvation of Pokemon? Because then Ash would have to make a decision. They care much about Pokemon as much as they do. There should have been two arcs. There should have been an arc where because I think the arc that comes after this arc is pretty much like a Unova Orange Island League. From what I heard, it's like an Orange Island League but in Unova essentially. They should have had this be part 1 of the Team Plasma arc and have like part 1 Team Plasma in here, and then do part 2 after that whole Orange Island Unova League stuff. And you could have ended off Best Wishes with a boom, because obviously they're extending it until they get to X and Y, which come out later this year. And I'm just kind of like, so instead of since you said this was going in a new direction, instead of taking the route that would have put it in a new direction, you took the easy route, because you took Team Plasma from Black 2, which is essentially another Team Rocket clone. Unless, and this is only if they do it, unless they feature Plasma before that change. But because they're making it sound like, since Black 1 in should have recognized Team Plasma from the get-go, and unless Gatus and N recognize each other and have some type of connection, they just rewrote the canon for those two characters, and Team Plasma has always been this way as far as the anime is concerned, which is a disappointment, because it's like, you had the potential just to have, if you had just left it alone and did Plasma part 1 first, you would have had a very interesting conundrum, because then you would have had Ash having to go against villains who technically aren't really villains but are being misguided. That would have made more sense, and then you would have had this whole internal struggle with N and Ash. Then again, they can still do the N and Ash stuff. They can still do that, because they set that up pretty well. Like the episode they introduced N in, that is a good setup episode. That can still go somewhere. Team Plasma is just Team Rocket with Colress. And Colress, when you really think about it, Colress is like Team Rocket from the anime, but it just is one person and not as goofy. Does anyone knows that? He has like this obsession with his Pikachu now, because his Pikachu is interesting. The same way he actually is with you when you meet him in the game. And if you think about that, that's exactly how Team Rocket is, and you're just kind of like, as far as the Looker being reintroduced, I ain't have any problem with that. I mean, the episode in itself isn't bad. I am fearing a few things. The first thing I'm fearing is that Dent is going into Brock status where he isn't really doing anything. That's going to start bugging me if they don't consistently keep him up in the forefront. And then, obviously, just the way this arc looks like is going to be a disappointment in the sense of what it could have been. But then again, that's kind of Universe's whole gimmick in itself. Unova is one of those series, one of those arcs in the region that has a lot of potential because the games did so well, and is not living up to it. Because no one's gonna say Unova in a whole lived up to the hype it got. Because come on, a lot of the rivals are short shot. Something tells me they're not gonna feature them in this Orange Island continuation league, which I really hope they do. And Ash is probably gonna win this league, by the way. And then I think the next episode is filler. Like, the next episode is like insane filler. Like, it's the Ampharos filler, the Flossie Ranch filler. I honestly think the best episodes in this arc will probably be the end episodes. The episodes ends in, or the filler that actually correlates with Black 2. Other than that, this is going to be kind of a disappointment, kind of like Unova is in its entirety. Like, and as I said, I like Unova, but Unova had a lot more to live up to, and it's just kind of annoying because and this is how I can tell they're full of shit, because it's like, oh, we're going to take the anime in a new direction. No, you're not. You're just making it less kiddie than it used to be, but you're still lowering the standards you could have appealed to. I'm not saying you have to go hardcore with it, but you refuse to have Ash develop as a character, which is weird because the movie looks like it's going to show a lot of promise with the whole him remembering Mewtwo shit, so I don't know what they're going for at this point. It's kind of a weird mix where it's like they want to be somewhat consistent, but they don't want to be fully consistent, and then but they're more consistent than they usually are. Like, Unova is like better than usual, but not as good as it could be. And there's no reason for them not to be good as they could be. They're just not. And I know this is coming off as a rant, but I mean, that's just kind of my thoughts that kind of popped in my head when I was watching the episode. I was just kind of like, why are y'all doing the subpar version? Just do the version you can do. Why are you trying to limit yourself for no reason? I don't know. But that's just my thoughts. So please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. This has been the Insane Game Freak here to bring you another Pokemon Best Wishes Season 2 review. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for the likes and the dislikes and the comments. And I will catch you guys later. Life's a game, play to win. Peace.